Could India really defeat China in just 2 weeks? A Quora post reportedly turned that idea into a serious public debate. It was said to gain 120,000 likes in 3 days. Some replies claimed Indian troops could reach Lhasa in 3 days and Urumqi within a week. An unnamed poll cited in the same discussion claimed 72% believed India would win, while 65% expected the war to end within 2 weeks. Those numbers are not verified here. Still, the confidence raises a useful question. What creates such certainty when the real military and economic picture is far more difficult? The confidence did not appear overnight. The argument says public memory has been shaped by selective stories. It points to the 2020 Galwan Valley clash. India lost more than 20 soldiers, including Colonel Santosh Babu, while China later said 4 of its soldiers died. Yet Indian media often presented the clash as a clear Indian success. When one version repeats for years, younger viewers may inherit the story without its harder details. The argument also points back to the 1962 war. India suffered a major defeat, but the subject gets limited space in many public accounts, it says. The Henderson-Brooks report, an internal Indian review, remains secret. Without open records, national memory becomes easier to edit. That doesn't prove every Indian believes the same story. It does show how missing history can leave room for simple myths. The next part is military equipment. India has about 1.4 million army personnel, and it has bought advanced systems from several countries. The argument lists French Rafale fighters, Russian S-400 air defenses, American helicopters, and Israeli drones. Buying strong weapons, however, is not the same as joining them into one system. Different parts may use different software, data links, spare parts, and maintenance chains. In a long conflict, this can slow repairs and limit supply. Supporters of this view point to the May 2025 India-Pakistan air clash. They claim Pakistan used Chinese-made J-10CE fighters and PL-15 missiles to bring down 6 Indian aircraft, including 3 Rafales. They also claim that some Indian systems could not share data properly. These exact details remain disputed, and no independent evidence is given here. The narrower point is more useful. If radar, aircraft, and missiles cannot exchange information smoothly, their real performance may fall below the promise in a sales brochure. The argument then moves from weapons to factories. It cites an Indian trade deficit with China above $100 billion during the first 11 months of a financial year. It says Indian industries still depend heavily on Chinese electronic parts, batteries, and chemicals. It also says India spent more than $20 billion on production support, while manufacturing fell from 15.4 to 14.3% of GDP over 4 years. No source is named for these figures, so they should be treated as claims, not final proof. But the mechanism is plain. Economic dependence can limit military and political choices. Geography creates another limit. The line of actual control runs for a claimed 3,488 kilometers, much of it across very high ground. Any large operation would need fuel, food, warm clothing, medicine, and spare parts to move through difficult mountains. The account claims an Indian post near Tawang lacked enough cold weather clothing in 2025, leaving 17 soldiers with cold injuries. It contrasts this with Chinese rail links, drones, and heated shelters. The details are not verified here, but the central issue is hard to avoid. At high altitude, logistics can matter as much as the weapon itself. That helps explain the gap between online language and official behavior. According to the account, Narendra Modi told Chinese official Wang Yi in August 2025 that India and China were partners, not rivals. It also says direct flights, Chinese journalist visas, and border communication began to return in 2026. These steps do not look like preparation for a 2-week war. They look like an effort to manage a difficult relationship without losing control of it. The viral claim is therefore more useful as a lesson about information than as a military forecast. Online debate rewards confidence. Selective history removes painful costs. New weapons are easily turned into symbols of certain victory. None of that proves what would happen in a real conflict. The evidence here supports a smaller conclusion. A loud online story can travel far beyond the facts behind it. It does not represent every Indian, and several claims in this argument still need independent proof. The mountains, supply chains, and diplomacy remain real limits. That may be why a 2-week victory gets loud support online, but no clear answer from Modi.